Hey guys, Jay Doran here, CEO of Culture Matters. This is episode 4 of a 6-part series, how to invest in real estate, the 6 ways you make money and how to impress investors. We're talking today about my favorite, leverage with a big fat L. What does that mean? Leverage. Think of a seesaw. You can have one little girl on a seesaw half the weight as 2 other girls and just sit in the right. If there's a right amount of leverage, what's going to happen? That seesaw is going to tip. The point is this: we can put $2 down on something and get $8 for free. Leverage, OPM. If you've heard OPM, it's other people's money. In real estate buy and hold, we want to use OPM. Why? Because it would be selfish not to. What does that mean? Well, if you've ever heard of a woman named Kim Kiyosaki, she's married to Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. They own the Rich Dad company. Kim talked about one of her first mentors telling her, why are you doing all these deals yourself? She said, well, it's my money. I feel like why would I want to use other people's money? I mean, isn't that greedy? Isn't that selfish? Why don't I just do it on my own? And her mentor told her this. I'll never forget it. He said, it's selfish to do it by yourself. Because of the currency economy, if you don't invest your money consistently, you're just losing money because of inflation, which we're going to talk about on episode 6 here. So the fact of the matter is, using OPM, we're going to be able to take advantage of leverage, which is helping other people get involved in the deal, and that being the banks, which keeps the world go around. So why, other than, philosophically, it's selfish to do it yourself, why would we want leverage? Well, it's simple. If we buy $1 million property and we put $300,000 down, it opens up opportunities to buy more properties that cash flow faster and build our wealth, not just build our income. See, rich people make money. Wealthy people have multiple forms of income. They have tax advantages. They have leverage. They have appreciating assets. So I'll give you 2 scenarios. Scenario 1 and 2, it's the same woman, the same environment, meaning Mary had an aunt who passed away. Mary's aunt left her $300,000. In scenario 1, Mary, who didn't know much about real estate, just figured it would work out and talked to an agent that didn't really do a lot of investments. She saw a property that was $300,000, a duplex, and it was going to cash flow after everything all said and done, let's say $12,000 a year. So she bought it cash. So there was no mortgage. So she would get a bigger return, okay, because there's no mortgage. So she'd get bigger return monthly. If she had a mortgage, maybe she would get $6,000, but she'd be able to leverage, but she didn't. She just bought it straight up. She got a nice cap rate on it. Okay. Now, Mary, the other scenario is she got the same amount of $300,000, but she met an agent that understood the 6 ways you make money in real estate and said, well, here's example B. Why don't you buy this property? It's actually $1 million property. You can put 30% down, and you can take advantage of the leverage, meaning that you'll have a $700,000 mortgage, and it's going to cash flow. We did all the numbers at $18,000 a year. So she took the $300,000 and put it down. She still had what? Cash flow coming in, and what's the cash flow? Greater by 30% more than the first scenario. So these are 2 scenarios, just to go back to it. Same woman, same scenario, $300,000, takes in example A, buys a property, duplex, it's going to pay her $12,000 a year in cash flow for $300,000. Now she's out of money. So second scenario, she buys a $1 million property. She buys it right there. She's got a mortgage, but after all said and done, after the expenses, after the NOI, the debt service, and the cash flow, at the cash flow, she's making $18,000 a year. So that means she's making more money on cash flow. All right, now, where's the real value? All right, well, you're thinking, why would I want to take that risk on B? Because now I got a mortgage that I got to worry about. And that's a great question. And you're right, risk is there. As I like to say, risk comes from what? The fear of the unknown. Uncertainty comes from not knowing this. Like if you're walking down a flight of stairs in pitch black with a set of steak knives in your hand, you're probably going to be scared. But if you walk down the same flight of stairs in the broad daylight, you may be less scared because you could see around. So yes, it is more scary. And why take all that risk, the $700,000 mortgage for just a little bit extra on the cash flow? You wouldn't. The reason you would do it is because of leverage. Why? Because let's say 3 years pass and it goes up 5% every year. She keeps it nice. She manages it properly. The rents go up. The first property is worth $350,000 3 years later. The second property is worth $1,157,000. So she got 3 times what? The appreciation on it. That's not all. She's going to take advantage of depreciation, which we talked about, which is the tax write-offs on the loan, which you should talk to your nearest tax advisor. She took advantage of the interest on the loan write-off, which is the amortization, which you should also talk to your tax advisor. And she has a property now that she can refi, get all her money back. Refinance means after a year, she can actually get a new loan. The bank will let her take out 70-80% of that, which is over $300,000. So she got all her money back, and she can now buy another property. Guys, leverage is like Monopoly. You get 4 little red houses, and you take those red houses and you cash them in, and you can buy a giant hotel. But in the first scenario, after all those years, all she got was what? Some appreciation, which could leave at any moment. She got some cash flow. All the money is gone now in example A. But example B, it's still cash flowing, which is hedging her bet. But now she has appreciation that she could take what? She could take that money back, that OPM. She got free money. And she could do what? In 3 years, she could buy another $1 million building. That could make her the same cash flow. So now, 3 years later, she has over $2 million in real estate. Let's just say $2.3 million in real estate. $36,000 in cash flow, because let's just say it was the same cap rate, which is return on investment in real estate jargon, as the first property in example B. Who would you rather be? The woman that got the $300,000 and just bought a property in cash because she was afraid of the consequences of having a mortgage and using other people's money just because she didn't know what she didn't know, or being the person that watches all these videos, gets as educated as possible on real estate finance and real estate market and real estate ideologies and philosophies, that says, all right, I'm going to take this $300,000, I'm going to put it down on $1 million property. I'm going to benefit from the amortization, the depreciation, the cash flow, the appreciation, and leverage my wealth into more assets. And in 30 years, I'm going to be able to roll the money, and own like 10 million, 20 million in real estate. That gives me 10% a year. The question is, are you going to put the time in to learn what you don't know that you don't know now? Do you even want to? Listen, we all have a different journey, so the choice is yours. All I can do is give you the information so you can make that choice, because darn, that would really suck if you didn't know what you didn't know, right? I hope this episode was of value to you, all about leverage. We can go in on this for another 4 hours, but I'll leave you with this. This is Doran, CEO of Culture Matters, and I hope this was valuable to you. You guys have a great day.